Alright, so I'm reviewing episode 2 of Krypton. Uh, so far I've only done episode 1, and it's been a while since I've done that one, so I might have forgot some things, such as, well, I don't know if it dawned upon me in the first episode, but it dawned upon me here that Loita, Seg's secret girlfriend, is a Zod. It it didn't. I don't know if that bomb was just dropped this episode or if it was relevant from the start and I just completely overlooked it or I forgot that I was aware of it. But yeah, that's the thing. It happened, and I intend to cover all these episodes, but things kind of got me sidetracked. You know, I'm a real person. I got real shit going on, so kind of got sidetracked. A lot of things going on. Uh, So we pick up here where we left off, the Zeta beams and all that. You know, Adam Strange, he talks about his Zeta beams. That like, you like that? I created that. Or I named that. So they're still having the same conversation pretty much about Brainiac coming to destroy the world. He goes from planet to planet, consumes them, and uh, they talk about Kal-El and the racing of history. Uh, and Seg doesn't necessarily believe him or anything. I mean, this is a lot to take in for somebody with a lot already weighing on them, which was his parents being murdered by his secret girlfriend's mother, who, and this was sort of ordered by uh, House Vex, that the guy who got his grandfather booted out, his grandfather and his whole family booted out of Kandor, removed at the ranks, thrown into poverty in the lower cities, kicked out of luxury, and pretty much forever shamed. And the other developments were that he's supposed to marry that dude's daughter without any say. And it's just so strange. So he's got a lot going on here. I mean, uh, so when you're watching this, like, if like what you're like, damn. Nah, I don't really think I've seen a show where the main character has so much weighing on him heavily so early on from the start. Uh, but yeah, so Adam and Seg, they go back to the main city. It appears that Adam can't leave. His Zeta beams or whatever aren't working out for him. And Seg just wants revenge. He doesn't really necessarily care about any of this thing that Adam is telling him, and he tells Adam to get a go to Kim, get a change of clothes, all that. So they do that, and Seg gets attacked by the guards too. No surprise again, because I think the first episode he was attacked by guards like two or three times. And in here, he even says, "Yeah, what's new?" Like when they come after him. So, yeah, that's the thing that I'm starting to wonder if it's going to happen every single episode, and how many times it will happen every single episode. But I'm only 2 episodes in, so who knows? But he's been attacked like 3 or 4 times by guards. Uh, so he's drug up there to some meeting that he was supposed to be there for between House Vex, and we get to see, the mask of Raw. He's got the head thing or whatever. It's a very strange character that seems like he may end up having a plot twist revolved around him because he's very quiet and he is masked. So there might be a plot twist involving him down the line because he just comes off like yeah, plot twist coming soon. But they go into the rich like history of Krypton a lot throughout this episode. Like here with this little meet, they go into the 9 religions that used to that Krypton used to have, and they've all sort of just been narrowed down to one. Uh, So also the military is in this episode they're gearing up to go attack the Rankless, with it being uh, believed that Segal's parents were part of Black Zero, a secret terrorist organization that's been affecting Kandor for a while. Uh, Now they believe that the leadership, the whole organization, is down there in the lower cities of poverty amongst the rankless, and they just want to go down there and terrorize all of them without regard for life of children, women, or innocent people in general. So Loita Zod, uh, I don't know if they've race changed the Zod family bloodline or what, because Zod is normally a white dude. So, I mean, he could still turn out a white dude, but I don't know at this point in the series. I try to avoid spoilers and leaks, and I'm behind the whole season. But, you know, Loita has a problem with it, and she wants to talk to her mother about stopping the dude who's pretty much bent on a bloodbath. And her mother, pretty much, mind your place, mind your business, mind your rank. Um, so that's pretty much how that goes. And Lorda, she tried to defend, the ringless to her mother. Eh, Nothing came of it. She also has a private meet with Seg, and he tells her that he doesn't blame her for what her mother did. He can forgive her, that he can't forget what her mother did. So yeah, that relationship probably not gonna go anywhere. I can't see how it would, especially now that I know she's a Zod. It's just never gonna happen, man. The fact that you two guys even had sex is weird because she's a Zod. But the history between that, like I said, there's a lot of talk, and there's a lot of talk about history in here, like Kryptonian mythos, religion, culture, the terrorism laws and rules, and structure of financial status, and there's a lot of stuff in here it is rich with mythology. The history between they get into the history between House L and House Vex, and Seg and uh, the commander, or whatever his name is. They talk about what he was hearing from Adam about his grandfather ranting on about some threat coming to consume their planet, some threat that's been consuming other planets and is making its way to Krypton to consume all life. And this commander didn't believe him, or maybe he did and he just didn't care. He just saw this as an opportunity to overthrow him. But he explains all that to Kal-El here, that his father was once a pivotal member of the science community, the science uh, whatever. That this got him thrown out. And this is a real eye opener for Seg, because everything Adam was telling him was true. And he came here with intent on revenge. So he had to go back and meet with Adam and talk about this kind of stuff. He did say that he wanted to do science work for Kandor and continue his father's work, but you know he's not in a position to make any of those kind of important choices, because that's how it goes here on Krypton, apparently. Uh, so we get into we got into the history of the differences between House L and House Vex, and we got into actually we got into more mythology too, as there's some kind of Loita Zod challenges Commander Krex, I think his name was, to this kind of ritual battle to the death, in which you can you have a chance to overthrow your ranking officer and assume his position or her position as long as you kill her in battle. So that's what happens. I don't know if you necessarily have to kill them in battle, but she does. I mean, the fight choreography and stuff like that's good for the scene. It all goes well, and but surprisingly to me, she killed them. But at this point, I still wasn't acknowledging she was a Zod until her mother ranked her up, congratulating her Lloyd the Zod as the new commander. And beyond that, we got into other stuff like Seg gets mad about the lack of evidence that he's trying to get information about Adam Strange. He stole a tablet and he's trying to get Adam Strange to like prove what he's telling them, and he's getting impatient. He's getting sick of this. He wants him to prove it. Otherwise, he's gonna go kill this dude that killed his parents. And he tells him, you know what? You got a certain amount of time. I'm gonna do this. Goes and buys a shiv, and he plans to go up there and just shank him. But that guy's daughter happens to interfere. Like she comes and talks to him, gains his trust by giving him his parents' ashes. And he goes on with his parents' ashes and just kind of forgets what he was about to do. And, or actually, I can no, because he does confront them in the room, in the end, in the meeting, and he goes on about how he wants to continue the work of the science rank, and he ends up pulling that shiv out but cutting off the patch, and Ra comes out here and he kind of like gives him his blessing for his choice and pretty much tells the other guy to accept it. And something's going on there because House Vex was hoping he would be punished or something for his little outbreak right there, or what his little outrage or his little like stance against him or whatever. Something's going on with them there where they're like kind of plotting against Seg. And she intentionally gave him the ashes to gain his trust and manipulate him even further for whatever gain they're going for here. And you know that's pretty much the highlights, most of it, except for you know Seg gets like a visit from a woman that gives him this rock that has the Superman symbol on it, that has his house symbol on it, and tells him how bad they feel that they loved his parents and all that. It's a woman and a little girl. I can't remember the names, but Loita too, now with her new rank, she goes and provides encouragement to her troops, and then we get into other things like Adam finally being able to prove that I can't remember how, but I can't remember how he did it. I'm trying to scratch my head here because a lot's been going on. But Seg, he visits his grandfather's fortress, and he has the cape like degrading. Yeah, that's what happened. The artifact, Seg takes the artifact to the fortress, and he puts it on the thing, and then he realizes like he can activate it with blood because he sees like the cape degrading that Adam brought with him, and he uses this artifact and he puts it in his own blood, and a hologram of his father activates. At first, he thinks it's a real dude, but it's not. It's just a hologram. They get into talking about the history of his science and all that, what he learned, and he tells them about Brainiac and what he's doing and how he invented. He tells them that he invented the Phantom Zone and stuff. And Seg doesn't really like his grandfather's name for that, but it's like, what? You don't like it? It's the Phantom Zone, man. Gotta like it. Get over it. But oh, following that, there's just a lot of exposition, and we get into this really great scene that, like, shows travel through space and what led to his grandfather's death. And and something interesting Ross said was, "You want to control him. This is how you do it." And I, that was before they were upset about how that was when House Vex was upset about Kal-El's, not Segel's choice. That Ross, it seems like he's already in the know of what they want to do with him because it's like, you want to control him. This is how you do it. But the big thing is that Adam and Cam find Brainiac's scout eggs. They're like out there in the snowy plains. They go out to the like salvage areas to try to figure out, you know, how they would find this thing that landed, and they find out in like the snowy regions where only salvage crews go. And that's pretty much the episode. I thought it was interesting. We do get to see like a lot of exposition. We get a lot of rich history here on Kryptonian culture. We get a lot of little kind of funny moments, not too funny in your face, but I thought this episode was pretty good. I'm not on board with race changing the Zod family, but I thought the episode was pretty good. And Brainiac, I'm really interested to see him, see how this goes. I really like Brainiac. I wish he would be in one of the Superman movies, but for some reason they always want to do Zod or Lex Luthor. It's like, come on, man, stop that shit at this point. But I'm gonna give this episode a 7 out of 10. Like, subscribe, comment, share your thoughts, opinions. Uh, check out my GoFundMe link and my PayPal link. I'm not monetized. If you want to support my channel, those are ways to do so. Stay awesome. Rock on.